Hello, YouTube. Welcome to Lifestyle Aesthetics, where we teach you how to level up consistently over time. Today, doing a full upper body day, I want to focus more on chest. Starting off with incline dumbbell bench press. So, starting off with 80 pounds. As you see, I'm holding it at the bottom stretch and the top stretch, trying to measure up my strength, trying to increase it by holding them. And then what I like to do is just go to failure up until I know I can't move it. From here, you're going to see me supersetting this with a neutral grip. Something interesting that I have learned is that it's a little bit harder to do these with neutral grip, testing out how they're going to do when I am using it with lower weight. Fully controlled, fully extended, deep stretch at the bottom. Also realize that neutral grip also is shoulder friendly, shoulder joint friendly. So definitely heavily recommend doing 45-degree hand position when you do your incline pressing, and neutral grip if like you want to nurse your shoulder injury to be more joint friendly. And I like to have these a little bit closer to my chest on this type of grip to make sure that I'm increasing my pushing strength. So I haven't really tested out doing them on 85s, but eventually when I increase my rep range to doing 8 reps on 80 pounds, definitely am going to try doing them with 85. So pushing them till I can't push no more. Want to focus more on the upper chest. I feel like I've been doing a lot of shoulder pressing, so I'm gonna take a little break from that and then focus more on chest movements. So here we go again with the neutral grip, 40 pounds. Trying to push them all the way up, trying to align myself to the bench so that way I'm not falling off to the side, not doing anything too crazy other than controlling the weight with my arms, right? So if you want to build that strong, athletic body, usually for guys, we try to focus on the upper chest, right? That's one of the main parts, upper chest and lower chest. After that, rest 2 to 3 minutes. So right now, I'm not really doing any weighted pull-up movements. What I am doing though is doing archer pull-ups, where you're basically going side to side. I have this habit of twisting my body, but wanna I want to put a lot of weight on each arm. This is going to help you develop more bicep forearm movements. And as you saw, I am holding it at the top and then slowly releasing at the bottom. And now I've been a little bit stronger, so I'm able to row with 55 pounds with perfect form, slightly leaning forward. And this is going to focus more on your upper back, right? So again, when I'm doing my upper body days, I'm focusing on upper back, middle back, lower back, upper chest, lower chest, middle chest. Supersetting this is phenomenal. Heavily recommended for you guys. You could do close grip pull ups, just regular, but when you're strong enough, as you see here, hold it at the top for 2 to 3 seconds as best as you can, slowly letting go. Eventually, you're going to get tired where you can't really put your chin up the bar, but that's fine. We're going to progress over time, right? That's the idea. And then supersetting that with the upright pronated row, right? Or just slightly lean forward to hit that upper back, hit those traps. Definitely gonna feel it. As you see, I'm holding it at the top for 1 or 2 seconds. And by then I'm already exhausted, so I'm only doing 5 reps, right? Um, I would also recommend if you want to work on your back, supersetting pull-ups with rowing movements is the way to go. So after I finished up with the pull-ups and the rows, I want to focus on my triceps and my lower chest. So as you saw, I like to double hook the chains closer to my waist so that way I am able to feel more weight as I do my weighted dips. So when I'm controlling the weight here, I like to pause at the deep stretch for at least 1 or 2 seconds, pause at the top to hold myself upright as much as I can to make sure that I am feeling that strength being developed. Okay. And then uh doing these perfect as much as I can, then I'm dropping the weight to just regular body weight. And since body weight of course is less than adding those 90 pounds, you're able to focus more on the stretch holding yourself there for 2 to 3 seconds, slowly pushing back up, right? This is going to help your lower chest grow a lot. You want to make sure that you're adding the lower chest to your routine, so that way your whole chest gets to pop out even if you're wearing a shirt. So now I'm doing a drop set. Well, first doing the 90 pounds, and I'm going to do like a drop set all the way through. So again, I'm doing as much as I can, reaching failure. Since I've already worked out on the incline bench, my triceps would be still sore. So that's the failure part that we have reached. And then I am going to drop it down to 45 pounds. Again, since it's lighter, I'm able to hold it and pause at the stretch on the bottom and hold my body upright to feel my traps grow as I extend them in and out, right? So that's the failure. Then I'm doing body weight dips, slow and control. Do not rush any movement, right? That's going to help you focus on triceps and lower chest. Here, we are doing lower back. So when I'm doing these rows, one hand at a time, you don't have to go as heavy. I'm trying to be mindful of how my position on my body is, how far away I'm from the cable, so the ball does not hit the machine. And as you see here, I'm holding it at the top stretch as deep as I can go upright. You could also put your legs closer, but holding at the top, slowly letting go, it's gonna help you become stronger and eventually pull more weight. And when you hold the weight, you are essentially building um, functional strength, right? Because an example of this would be if you're like pushing a cart or holding your grocery bags and you don't have a car and you're walking to your home, you're holding weight in that fixed position all the way to your home, right? If you don't have an elevator, you would walk up the stairs, right? So this is why I like to hold the weight on the deep stretch at the top, right? So that way I'm able to build that functional strength. And then switching hands, focus here, and then off camera, I was doing like a drop set for a lighter weight in order to make sure that I'm hitting the lower back as much as I can. It's easy to forget that the lower back is also part of like the muscle group. People like to do the upper back, middle back, but nobody gives much love to the lower back, right? Want to make sure that that's being, developed as well. So you are able to bend down, pick things up, and not like when you get old, like you have trouble doing these type of basic movements that you did when you were younger. So doing these till failure, right? Drop sets, lighter weight, controlling them. This is the main idea of, strength training when you are doing all these different movements. So I was looking at the bar and I figured, why not just add more pull-ups? So with this neutral grip pull-up, I am holding at the top, so I was still like strong enough to do more pulling movements. So holding at the top for 2 to 3 seconds when you get to the strength level, and as you notice, I am slowly going back down, right? Usually people like to, do these quick repetitions. Nope. When you get to the strength level, holding at the top, controlling the whole way through the whole motion, definitely gonna feel the fatigue. And then here I'm trying to figure out what is the best way. So I figured, standing upright or leaning a little bit upright, you're gonna feel the deep stretch. So as I do these, right, similar to how we did the pulling motions, I am holding it at the bottom part, right, close to my chest, slowly releasing the weight. And this superset combo is definitely going to help you grow out the lats, the middle part, your back, your biceps, your grip strength, your forearms, right? They're popping out. Doing these supersets, it's the way to go. Supersets helps you like feel the fatigue more, do more reps when you focus on that same muscle group that you're working on, right? And that is pretty powerful, time saver as well. Also helps you build that endurance while you're building the strength. So it's all functional movements. So that was the first set of doing neutral grip pull-ups, holding at the top, controlling your body weight as you release, right? So now after 2 to 3 minutes, focus on the second set, holding at the top, chin over the bar. I feel really powerful here since I've been doing 2 to 3 years plus of weighted pull-ups, weighted dips. I feel like at this point in my life, I'm able to do all these fun things. After mastering your body weight. Um, I feel like this is gonna help my back grow. I want to get a little bit more wide. I want to add 5 to 7 pounds to my frame. I've lost some weight, so not that I've intentionally cut, but doing cardio, going a little bit on a calorie deficit, but strength training, fasting, dropping a few pounds of fat, and then just focusing on developing more, sculpted out muscles. After those NutriGrip pull-ups, doing these rows, so high to low row movement, gonna build that middle part of the back, right? So reaching failure, doing partials, that's gonna help you develop the key strength. And then moving on for the flies, of course, it will focus on the main chest, but I want to focus on building the middle part of the chest. So you need to play around with the seating position. You don't want to be too low, too high. You don't have to go that far of a deep stretch. Just playing around with the different positioning on the machine, trying to make sure that I'm holding it at the top, slowly releasing, trying to fill up that gap that's in the middle of my chest. That way my pecs are closer together, right? So pec deck machine, pretty good for days where you just don't want to really, um, you know, just pushing movements sometimes can help. But when you do pec deck machine, the flies, it's also like helping you develop the chest just a little bit more. Then we're doing some drop sets. So after 100 pounds, I lower it down to 90. And then from there, the main goal is while keeping form, trying to reach failure since we already did the heavier weight. So holding it at the top, releasing slowly, helps me build out my chest, fill out my shirt. Um, yeah, this also works at the anterior head of the shoulders, right, as all pushing movements do. And then from here, I actually move the handles farther back. Of course, you need to be careful so you don't overstretch. But since I know I'm able to control the weight, I felt like this is gonna give me more of a contraction. I've also increased the weight, so I've done the first set with 100 pounds. So I'm doing this with 120. So as much as I can, trying to hold that at the top, and then just doing partials till you fail, and then we just decrease the weight. And with that extra deep stretch, I feel it more on my chest, just growing stronger, being more developed, right? So with this drop set, dropping in the weight, gonna definitely feel it. Um, the machine's always gonna vary between gym to gym, so that's I want to experiment on how far you want to put back the machine, and all that good stuff. So that was the weight we did. So now we are doing reverse flies, right? So here I want to push the seat a little bit higher where my chest is resting on the bent on the pad. I'm leaning forward as if I'm on a motorcycle and then using the pronated grip, trying to reach as far as I can, depending on flexibility, holding it at the top for 1 or 2 seconds and then slowly releasing it. Then from here, what I am going to do is lower the seat just a little bit and then I will do some reverse grip flies. So I could have easily supersetted by doing lower weight, but with this grip and with these dumbbells, I feel like I feel it more being worked out in this position here. So with the machines and dumbbells being mixed together, definitely going to fill out those rear deltoids, right? And then from here, after we do those 2 sets, we are doing lateral raises. So sitting at the edge of the seat of the bench, I feel more comfortable. It's not bumping too much on my sides since the weight is essentially just right under my leg. So holding it at the top and then controlling it back down until I can't do any more, just doing partials, and then drop setting that to 15 pounds. I definitely feel it on the lateral head of my deltoids. As you see, I'm already fatigued. So I'm trying to force my arms to just reach at the top and then just doing partials, right? You don't have to do all the way through, but partials do help when you feel that strong fatigue. And then I'm going to rest again for 2 to 3 minutes and go ahead with the lateral raises. So today I wanted to do more controlling, and since we already did all these pulling movements, I decided to go lighter, so 17.5 pounds, and then dropping it to 15 pounds. So right here, just doing partials, trying to control that weight, dropping down to 15 pounds. So at the top, hold for 1 to 2 seconds, slowly go back down. So that's my philosophy, controlling the weight, holding it at the top for maximum contraction, maximum, control of the weight. What I like to do. So since I was short on time, I decided that I want to do 3 sets of hammer curls, skull crushers. So right here, I have developed a strength where I'm able to do both hands at the same exact time. Before I used to alternate between them. So now I'm able to hold that at the top, slowly release. And then we do the skull crushers on a flat bench with 60 pounds. So the point here is for strength. I'm not trying to go too far, too crazy on the fact that, I'm doing all these repetitions, right? So controlling it, holding at the top, and then releasing it on the way down. As you see, my arms are at a 45-degree angle. Helps me feel it more on my triceps. And then with the other set, right? Trying to do your best to control the way you hold them. Holding at the top. Definitely going to feel it on the forearms and the biceps. Your grip strength is going to develop a lot. And then you do your skull crushers, right? And then just alternating at the final rep count. And then the skull crushers, that's it. That's pretty much the end of the workout, right? Thank you for watching. Go ahead and like and subscribe. Comment down below what is your favorite upper body movement. And I will catch you guys in the next video.